How you doing, family? This is Chris Rod with Media TV, and I'm going to be coming to you with this news and article, family. Coming to you from the NewYorkTimes.com, and it says hundreds of inmates at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn spent the coldest days of the year locked in cells, largely without heat and water. Power was restored after a week on February 3rd, amid public outcry. Stephanie Keat for the New York Times. And that's fucked up, family. That's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Before I start on reading the article, family, I know for a fact, damn near what, 50 or 60% of New York. Where is this was at? This was in New York? Yeah, Brooklyn, yeah. In Brooklyn, New York. Down there 50 to 60% of the time, it's cold as fuck. They have blizzards. Blizzards and shit. I ain't never been in no blizzard. But if I know for a fact, if you don't have no lights, no water, no heat, for a week, you don't know what the fuck was going on in that damn in that jail or that prison, family. We don't know what the hell was going on. But you got these motherfuckers talking about, oh, everybody was calm and collective. Everybody, we made sure that everybody ate. We made sure everybody was in a safe environment. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, man. We don't know what the hell was going on. They post this article like we supposed to go by what they saying. But at the end of the day, if you're not behind the bars, if you're not behind them bars and going and you know what I'm saying, experiencing that shit, you don't know what the fuck is going on in the jail. They can post anything on here and say, oh, yeah, well, this happened. But I'm about to get into it, family. It says, what you need to know to start the day. Say, get New York today in your mailbox, man. Fuck that shit. In the middle of New York City, they had been cut off from the world. It was the end of January, and hundreds of inmates at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn had been locked in their cells after an electrical fire knocked out power in the building. Damn. It turned out they would spend the coldest days of the winter in darkness, largely without heat and water. Damn, man, that's fucked up. It's cold as hell. One inmate, Sean Daughtry, told his lawyer he could see his breath in the weak light that slanted through his cell window. Damn. He said when news of how the inmates were treated reached the world outside, the warden of the federal jail, Herman E. Quay, at first denied that there was any problems outside a partial loss of power. Inmates housing units have been minimally impacted. Mr. Quay's office told the New York Times during the blackout, a message initially echoed by the Bureau of Prison in Washington. You know these motherfuckers gonna lie. You know these motherfuckers gonna lie. The damn warden. You know they gonna fucking lie. It says, but dozens of interviews with inmates and their families, defense lawyers, jail staff, union officials, and lawmakers brief on the response of officials at the Bureau prison painted another picture, revealing an account of the crisis that not only contradicted what the Bureau said, but suggested it was even worse than it had initially appeared. Like I said, family, if you don't have no lights, no water, no heat, and it's cold as a motherfucker in the damn jail, it's cold as a motherfucker, how you think these people feeling? Come on, man. The blackout, which lasted for a week, ended February 3rd when the power was restored amid public outcry. A few days later, the Justice Department, which oversees the Federal Bureau of Prisons, said that it was committed to a safe and humane living and working conditions of all inmates and employees. Get the fuck out of here. How the fuck do they know? They wasn't in there. They wasn't in the prisons when it was out for a week. So they going by what the fucking warden said, man. Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. They all in cahoots with each other. And that its internal watchdog, the Office of the Inspector General, would investigate the facility, infrastructure, and emergency response. Mr. Quaid did not respond to requests for comment. The blackout crisis was just the latest episode in a long history of neglect and brutality at the jail, one that has been documented in previous Justice Department reports. Investigators over the years have issued findings that suggest the jail is among the worst in the federal prison, determining at different times that prisoners have been beaten, raped, or held in inhumane conditions. Like I said, family, no lights, no water, no heat. So you don't know what the fuck is going down in the damn jails and the prisons, family. People could be getting raped. People could be getting killed. It's so much of shit. You know what I'm saying? And they talking about, everybody was in a humane situation. We handled it. They didn't have no fucking contingency plans because they don't give a fuck about the people that's in the prisons. And this lets you know that they don't keep up with their prisons. They don't do what they're supposed to do. They don't make sure the inmates are in a safe and unharmed of any danger. They just, go on about their damn business like it's a fucking regular day. It said, it's my opinion, a former warden at the jail, Cameron Lindsay, said in an interview that over the last decade, the MDC was one of the most troubled, if not the most troubled facility in the Bureau of Prisons. She's a former warden, and she's letting you know that the system is fucked up already. The MDC, one of the largest federal lockups in the country, houses more than 1,600 inmates, some of them linked to high-profile drug trafficking, terrorism cases, most charged with lesser crimes. It is largely a wide station where inmates spend relatively short periods awaiting trial or sentences. See what I'm saying, family? You have more charged with lesser crimes, with drug trafficking. It lets you know there's a lot of people is in the jail for more charges on drug crimes than actual, people killing people and shit like that. Like how they always try to do. They always do it is throw us in jail for weed, little shit like that. Come on, man. Nobody should not be in jail for no fucking weed. It says while many federal inmates are held in less populous corners of the country, the MDC sits between the expressway and the New York Harbor, amid one of the world's great concentrations of lawyers and civil liberties advocates. Yet the jail has proved steadily resistant to attempt at scrutiny, including while under Mr. Quay. See, Mr. Quay, he don't give a fuck about these inmates. He don't give a fuck if they live or they die, because he know, hey, we gotta deal with the law officers, with the police, that hey, our job is to make sure we go out and look for black people and try to plant charges on them so we can get them in the prisons. That's what they do. We already know that shit. We already know how these motherfuckers rock. And they do that shit all over the fucking United States. At the representative Gerald Nadler, a New York Democrat who heads the House Judiciary Committee, toured the jail during the blackout. He denounced not only the deplorable conditions, but an absolute lack of urgency or caring by leadership, particularly the warden. See what I'm saying? This person even went to the jail and he denounced only the deplorable conditions, but an absolute lack of urgency or caring by the leadership, particularly the warden. He letting you know they ain't doing what they supposed to do. These people are in inhumane situation, living conditions. It's cold as fuck. You ain't got no heat, no electricity. You can't see what the fuck is going on. Anybody can do something to your ass. And you in themselves. Say cold and sick. Something weird is going on. An inmate, Kamar Wilson, said to his fiance in a message in mid-January, "I'm frustrated. I can't figure it out, but nothing is working properly." He said when his fiance, Maureen Johnson, visited him a few days later, Mr. Wilson said that the heating system and electricity seemed to be broken, but inmates were not given any explanation for the issues or for the dinner of undercooked oatmeal in the night before. Who the fuck want to eat oatmeal all day, man? Who the fuck want to eat oatmeal all day? Around Martin Luther King's birthday, when temperatures plunged into the single digits, Mr. Wilson told his fiancée that the building felt like a freezer. God damn. See what I'm saying, family? When you don't have no lights, no electricity, no heat, and you in the cold, that was one of the coldest weeks. The coldest weeks. When they optic blast and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I know it was super cold on there, because it was cold up here. New York is always cold. It's always cold. It said to keep his hands warm, inmates on his floor hand-filled a can with water, heated it with a contraband lighter, and passed it around. Yeah, they trying to keep cold. Families begin to call the jail. Union officials also called the warden. Anthony Sonnen, head of the local chapter of the Correction Officers Union, described workers in coats and gloves trying to keep order in the cold. It was just unbearable, he said. See what I'm saying, family? That goes to show you these motherfuckers don't care about how these inmates are in jail. They don't give a damn. As long as the fucking work getting done, they don't give a damn about your ass. They don't give a damn at all. Like I said, they have no heat, no water, no lights. You can't see what the fuck is going on. Shit is crazy, family. But y'all let me know what y'all think, family. I put the link down in the description below. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and I'll be back with another one, family. I'm out.